Hello, it's Monica Dubé with Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Life, and I am doing the Lessons of A Course in Miracles. We're on lesson 26, which is my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. And this is probably one of the most crucial lessons in the Course because it brings the idea that your fearful thoughts are always attacking you into your awareness, and you become aware that every time you have a fearful thought about the future or about what might happen, it's really a trick that's getting you to not understand who you are and stay in a state of terror or fear or lack. And when we do that, when we listen to that mind that's constantly doing that to us, we're very unhappy. I mean, we get very tense, and then we believe it's true, and this whole Course in Miracles is really an attempt to let go of that machination, that your ego mind's always attacking you. And this kind of proves that that's true. So it says that it's surely obvious that if you can be attacked, you're not invulnerable, right? If you can be attacked, you're not invulnerable. You're vulnerable to attack. And you see attack as a real threat. That's because you believe that you can really attack. Right? So your mind likes to attack. It likes to judge other people or judge yourself. And it's in a constant state of attack and defense until you recognize that it's making you really unhappy. And you do this mind training, or you do something to let go of that entire process. What would have effects through you must have effects on you. So, and it says that this law will ultimately save you. Because you're going to start to realize that if I can stop the attack and extend love instead to myself, then I'm going to feel a lot better. And that comes with practice of really learning how to let go and how to forgive and how to stop the attack by, first of all, being aware of it. Right? You've got to be aware of what you're doing or nothing will happen. So you believe that your attack thoughts are real. And so you project the fear onto yourself or others, or onto the world. If you realized, though, that these attack thoughts are what's making you vulnerable, and that you have a choice about whether or not to engage in them, then you could let go of all of that mechanism. You could really recognize, I don't like this. I don't like the result I'm getting. And it's work, but you have to recognize that it's work that's worth it. Because truly you can set yourself free from your mind in any given moment that you decide to. So the idea for today introduces the thought that you always attack yourself first. Right? It's always about me and what I'm doing, what I have or don't have, and my future. And that's always attack. These are attack thoughts upon yourself. And then it also entails that you are weak and vulnerable, and therefore you've attacked your perception of yourself. So think about it this way. It's just a perception, right? It's all made up, but you're perceiving yourself as fearful or vulnerable. And a false image of yourself then has come to take the place of what you really are. Because what you really are is whole and perfect as God created you. But you don't know that when you're fearful. Right? You don't know that at all when you're fearful. And it becomes an awareness that I don't have to keep engaging in this kind of attack and defense and trying to figure out how to deal with it. So take a breath. Just relax for a moment. This practice period, there's 6 practice periods asked for today because it's such an important lesson. And it says that the concern may take the form of depression, worry, anger, a sense of imposition, fear, foreboding, or a preoccupation, right? So it could be like just preoccupying your mind. That's like in lesson 9, as I'm preoccupied with my past thoughts. And so that's what makes me fearful, that I'm always thinking about the past. And it's gone. So there's kind of a mechanism of recognizing the past is over. I don't have to engage in it anymore. Just let go and realize passes over, it can't really affect me unless I'm thinking that it can. So it's always my own thoughts that are attacking, and it's always my own thoughts that really where we have to work. So you're not going to be able to use many of these subjects. Okay, so just pick a subject. I'm concerned about blank. All right, I'm concerned about what? Not having enough money, or I'm concerned about my relationship, or I'm concerned about my child. I'm concerned about my health. All right, all these concerns, right? They're always going on in our mind until we recognize we don't have to keep doing that. So I'm afraid blank will happen. All right, so put that, fill in the blank. I'm afraid I'm going to run out of money, or I'm afraid my relationship is going to end, or I'm afraid that somebody's going to come and abduct my child, or, these are really crazy thoughts, but we have them. And when you recognize that you have all these fears, and they're constantly going over and over in your mind, you're always in this state of fear. It's not a good place to be. This is actually going on in your own perception of yourself. It's not really you. There's a you that's aware that you're thinking these thoughts. There's a you that's letting go of the ideas that you need to be afraid in order to exist here. And that's a really different way of living when you let go, when you learn to recognize the fear but not give it any energy, and learn to live with gratitude, or learn to live with joy or peace. And those other states of mind come when you really see that you're blocking your own happiness with your fear. You don't have to keep doing that. In fact, this is really how you can undo it. So I'm afraid blank will happen, and go through all these different ideas of what you think might happen. And recognize, too, that all of them are fear thoughts, and all of them are based on what's not even happening yet. So they're all just pure imagination in your own mind. And you're projecting, oh, I'm going to lose something. It's really a lot of it. The future is all about loss. Because ultimately we're afraid of death. We're afraid of dying and letting go and releasing everything. But truly that's going to be a really joyous moment. Because you're going to come out of this crazy limited existence, and you're going to be free. But we don't think of that as human beings. We think, oh, we're going to lose everything we love. But in fact, you can't really lose anything that you love, because love doesn't possess. So when you recognize and come into the certainty of who you really are, there's peace in your mind, because there's no doubt about you. You see that you have these fears, but you know that it's just crazy, and you don't have to believe them anymore. That's what we're doing in the workbook lessons. So I'm afraid blank will happen. And now after you recognize those situations, where blank will happen, like you're going to lose everything, tell yourself this: that thought is an attack upon myself. Okay? That thought is an attack upon myself. That's it. You don't have to do anything else with it. It's really about recognizing my fear thoughts are all attacking my invulnerability, because I'm not actually vulnerable, right? I'm not vulnerable to my own attack unless I give it power over me. And I don't have to do that anymore. I can claim that I have the power of decision to change my mind about how I think and how I feel and how I want to be in the world. And that's what I help people do. So if you like this lesson, my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability, just put a comment and share the video, because I want people to understand that their thoughts of attack are really not real. They're not true thoughts. They're just made up. They're pure imagination. And when you get really connected with your own heart and your own mind, you'll stop doing that, because you're just going to choose, I would rather not attack myself right now. I'd rather be happy, right? How do I give myself happiness? By ceasing to attack yourself with fear, period. And it isn't that hard. It's just a matter of practice and willingness, and seeing that I can write these thoughts down, and then I question, are they really true? And you'll see that if they're based on the past, they're not true because they're over. And if they're based in the future, they're not true because it hasn't happened yet. See what the mind does? It's really crazy. It sequences time like that, and time isn't even sequential. There's really only a present moment of joining that's happening. And we're either joining or we're not joining. You know, we're either stuck in our fear and stuck in our worries, or we're learning to let that go and learning to love ourselves in spite of all of that. You know, it's just a different way of living, really. And it's very different from being afraid. Because when you're afraid, you're basically just caught in your own bubble and nothing's going on. And you're kind of protecting yourself from other things coming toward you. And why would you want to do that? Like, why wouldn't you want to just be free and happy to be who you really are and join with others and know that you don't have to worry about the future? You can be happy and whole and perfect right here and now. Okay? But it's work. I mean, it's a practice. So if this helps you, I'm really glad. Like I said, you do have to do the lesson. You have to write down, I'm afraid blank will happen, I'm afraid blank will happen. And then recognize that all those thoughts are truly just going on in your mind. And they're all made up by you. So you can stop doing that. Just release it. Just release the idea that anything terrible is going to happen to you. Because none of those things are really true. Most of what we worry about doesn't happen. Like 90% of it doesn't happen. But we listen to our fear thoughts, and it's crazy. We got to stop. I want to help you stop. So this is Heal Your Mind, Heal Your Life, and I have this really nice coaching transformation program that I love to work with people on these deeper issues that are keeping them stuck in fear, pain, sickness, and helping them to really come out of it so you can be happy and free. All right, so I hope you enjoy it. Please share the video if you'd like to. And tomorrow I'm going to do lesson 27 and 28. Above all else, I want to see differently. I want to see everything differently, right? Because I'm seeing them through my own myopic little eyes that aren't showing me the real thing anyway. And now I can see differently, right? And you may not know how to do that because you don't, but you're going to learn how, okay? You're going to learn how to see everything with love, see everything with a vision of holiness so that you can join with it instead of being afraid of it. So deep breath and release. And if you're interested in my website, it's healyourmindhealyourlife.com. I have a lot of free information on there. And I look forward to speaking with you, perhaps having a discovery call. If you'd like to do that, just contact me. And I look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.